Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Customs on YouTube. Dave here in the garage. Yeah, a little bit of old car archaeology today. So yeah, we've got a little visit from Stripper, just as a reward for watching all the bodywork videos. So stick around and find out. Okay, before we do anything, got to get the little Murder out the way. Before we do that, got to get the old gas guzzling Jeep Cherokee out the way. This hasn't been started in, it must be nearly 2 weeks now, because I haven't done anything in the garage for 2 weekends. So I've been away last week, got back last weekend, so we're going to move some stuff around, but we're going to see how this goes with a cold start, like a good cold start. Give it a little fuel pump, a little prime up. Might give it a little bit of choke, see what happens. Get that finish. Ooh, it sounds a bit weak. Okay, it doesn't push the choke back in. The way she went doesn't seem to like the choke at all. It started pretty good. Oh, put the clutch in and it stalled. She's flat. Oh, jump start it is. Wired up, ready to go, hopefully. So we'll see how that goes. That battery's been sitting on the shelf for a while, so we shall see. Bring the high idle up a little bit, let it warm up. Might have to pull this battery out and give it a good deep charge on the old back tray charger. We're going to be bringing the truck back into the garage. A little bit of work to do on that and up and coming videos. But for today, like I said, some auto archaeology, so we just want to get this out of the way and I'll get into that auto archaeology malarkey in a minute. Okay, so just a little bit of prep for when the stripper, because it's going to get messy. Probably should put something on the floor maybe as well, even I think. That should contain the stripper's mess, hopefully a little bit of glitter. Okay, I'll show you what I'm actually talking about. Okay, so the front bumper on the old Area 51. This is the bumper that I got with the Area 51 project. Got a bit of peeling chrome and stuff. At some point in its life it's had a rattle can re-chrome, and that's what I want to remove and see what kind of condition the rest of the bumper is underneath it. That'll determine how we move forward with this part of the project, or even the whole project, if that makes sense. On the whole, it's got a couple of little whoop-de-woos in here. She's a bit wobbly. Anyway, I'll explain what I'm going to do. I got me some Sally's quick strip, fast acting, optimum strength. and a little disposable brush. Well, could wash it out and use it again, but it was a, you know, like a little cheapie. So I'm going to set about stripping off all this rattle can re-chrome and see what's underneath there. So let's get at it. I'm going to start with a little bit of sandy paper and give it a bit of a once over, just with something light, just not too heavy, in case the chrome is kind of reasonable. Obviously it's not going to be all reasonable because of stuff like that, but it might give me an indication of, you know, like I don't want to scuff up any chrome that's okay, if you know what I mean, at this point. Oh, even the override is a bit, yeah, she's not going to be mint under there, I can tell you now. It's a shame. But yeah, I'll scuff it all up and we'll set about throwing some paint stripper on there and see what we can get out of it. Sit up there. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, the reason I'm kind of giving it a light scuff up, like this is going to come off really easy. I can tell now there's really been no preparation under this rattle can chrome, so it'll come off for the most part pretty easy, I think. But if you're stripping back something with a better finish on it, like a, you know, say like a Harley tank or something like that, and it's got factory clear on it, which is usually about 1/8 of an inch thick, a good scuff with some like 40 grit or something like that just helps break the surface and helps the stripper eat into it, you know, like just get in there and eat it up and get underneath it. I'll show you a little, I'll try, see, it might not even be needing doing, but you can put your paint stripper on and wrap it in plastic, and it stops the stripper evaporating too quickly, and then you can, it just kind of gives it more time to eat into the paint, you know. Just a slight touch with the old sandy paper, and this rattle can chrome's coming off, so I think with a couple of kind of going overs with the old paint stripper, it'll just eat it up. So I'm just going to get some more stuff together, some rags, I'll get some plastic and I'll show you what I mean about that. And yeah, because I'm going to make a mess. Okay, so check this out. Got me the Waddy's baked beans. Actually, I've got my paint stripper in there. I'm just using this Sally's paint stripper because it's cheap and it's available. Well, I wouldn't say it's cheap, but it's available. I'm sure there's plenty of much better kind of commercial strength paint strippers than this one, but this is good, alright for the DIYer like myself. To be fair, I used this in the professional environment as well when I was a young fella. You can see it's starting to eat up that silver. Looks like it's going to be more of a wipe off than a peel off though. I've got a bit of pallet wrap here. Because we're now a green, environmentally conscious country here in New Zealand, we don't have supermarket bags anymore, so I'm using this instead. And just cover that all up so it kind of gives it time to sort of eat in there before all this evaporates. Locally sourced speed square thing, rubbish. It was all kind of like wobbly woo, so found an aluminium one and binned that one. We're just going to let that cook under there for a little bit and then come back and see what we can scrape off. Just going to like lay a bit more into this area. It's sort of dried off a bit. I'll put it on a bit thin. Pour it in there a bit more, I reckon. like choice. Okay, so you want to be pretty careful when you're using paint strippers of any sort. Like, should have eyewear on, but stuff like that. Oh, didn't get that lid on crooked, on straight. But this stuff here, if you, even when you just get it on your skin, you can feel it eating into your skin, and that's just a home grade sort of strength. If you're using any of that super duper airplane stuff on commercial, you know, panel shops and that use, then, you know, gauntlets, rubber stuff, like, just cover yourself up. Peak hour traffic on a Saturday morning. But yeah, so just a little bit of fair warning there. This Sally's stuff is not too bad, but you know, if you're using anything gruntier, you know, gloves, appropriate eyewear, footwear, overalls. Do as I say, not as I do. Right, I'm gonna have a coffee. Right, that's right. Peel that off and start scraping this up. Just using like a window scraper to get the worst of it off. My knees. Yeah, this chrome is a bit damaged down here, unfortunately. Okay, so got the bulk of the rattle can chrome off of here. I might need to pull this apart now. It's already loose, but to kind of get into the crevices and that better, I guess. You can see like that this has got like some red oxide and stuff under what's left of that rattle can chrome. Same in a couple of other places, like it's been prepped somewhat before the rattle can went on there, sort of thing. I think it's red oxide anyway, it could just be rust. But yeah, there's peely chrome in a few places, and she's not well. You know, could go, send it off to get straightened and re-chromed and all of that kind of stuff. But chroming in New Zealand there's a lot of debate about who's a good chrome plater to send your stuff to and stuff these days, because there's not many, and it's just one of those kind of arguments that goes back and forth that no one can really agree on who does good chrome here. Excuse me. I don't personally have any experience with sending chrome and that off. I just know it's very, very expensive. It's almost cheaper to just buy in reproduction stuff, but then the you know, new chrome and the reproduction stuff just doesn't look like that. It's got all the copper and the nickel and stuff in it, you know, it's just not the same. So I'll probably, I don't know what I'm going to do about this bumper. I'm probably going to paint it, but as to what, I don't know. You know, it's a shame that it's so beat up. Kind of almost look better with the rattle can paint and all beat up and that on it, but we'll give it a real good clean up and we'll just see what it all looks like. I know there's chrome missing and there's obviously that peely stuff and that, but you know, it could still look good on the right car, maybe. I do like good chrome, but yeah, it's just not in the budget, man. Wrong time of the economic cycle for that kind of expenditure, unfortunately. Yeah, and doing all this shit ain't free and it ain't cheap. My labour's free, but the cost of all the stuff I have to outsource and buy in, that's what costs the money, you know. So we'll figure out a way to make it look goodish, maybe. Might be able to sort of do a bit of straightening out and stuff on it, but for now I'll carry on kind of cleaning it up. I'm going to grab some lacquer thinners and some more rags and maybe some Scotch-Brite or something and start going over it with thinners rather than the paint stripper. I've got the worst of the heavy paint off, and it's just kind of smearing it around all over the place. So, you know, it's hard to get off. It leaves that greasy film. So now I'll kind of go over and give it a good kind of wash down. Maybe I might take those overriders off first and then remove all the bolts. Make it a little easier to deal with that stuff. Yeah, like that. Okay. Yeah. Oop. What is that? It's just like a rivet. That thing. It's not even threaded. Okay, like they actually took that off. They took this bumper off the car by the looks of things to paint this rattle can chrome on here, and they took the overriders off, which surprised me. I thought it was just gonna blow over it with the old, you know, can, and that's be it. But yeah, they actually took it apart to achieve this result. But anyway, carry on. I might have to get some more paint stripper onto those bits and try and get the worst of that up before we go on to the thinners, you know. Okay, so just kind of do a little bit of a wipe down with just some all-purpose thinner, which is essentially just lacquer thinners. So it's got a bit more punchy than my other all-purpose thinners. Okay, so update. I've gone through and given everything a good wipe down with lacquer thinners and got the worst of the, you know, stripper and the remaining rattle can chrome off. As you can see, like we've got this kind of stuff going on. There's a few, you might be able to see it on camera. There's a whoop-de-woo here. There's lots of little ones in the front. There's something going on here, I can't quite figure it out. So I'm just joking, like you can tell what's going on. Over here there was actually, this is red oxide primer in here, so it's like it's obviously pitted like mad and they've red oxide the hell out of it, maybe to try and fill it out a bit, and then rattle canned it chrome. The overriders have, man, they've been overriding. There's a, you know, ding here, crease here. There's more peeling chrome down here. It's a shame because I mean, I'd be happy if it was like at that level, the whole lot. But this is just a little bit too far gone to kind of use it as chrome, maybe. So with that being said, I'm still going to use it, but I'm going to do something with it to I don't know, it changes the whole kind of, well, not really, I was kind of expecting this, I was being optimistic, I was hoping it was going to be slightly better than what it is, you know, like chrome wise. I was hoping it was just, you know, someone thought rattle canning over decent chrome was a good idea, but it didn't turn out that way. I'm going to kind of maybe scrape off as much of the flaky chrome as possible. Try and straighten out some of these little dings a wee bit. I'm not going to go too mental with it because I'm not going to be going for a metal finish. We might end up, you know, doing a paint finish on this, so we've got to, you know, do a bit of filling or something. I don't know, just more shit to paint, more sanding and carrying on and stuff. But yeah, but whatever we do to the front bumper, got to do to the back bumper, which is in pieces in the old junk room back there. And actually the back bumper, I might need paint stripper on that now too, because I covered it in vinyl application tape way back when to protect the chrome, and left it on there for what's probably been nearly 3 or so years now, and that application tape has gone bad on the chrome, so it's stuck on there. I'm gonna have to use something to eat it to get it in there, and the chrome's probably damaged under it or marked or something by now anyway, and it's just cheap shit reproduction chrome, so it's not great. So I probably do with being, I don't know, painting those bumpers as well. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna get rid of this now so I don't end up walking paint stripper around the bloody garage and the house and stuff, and you know, getting in the shit, and figure out what we're gonna do next. It's getting a bit windy outside. You know, tomorrow's out there sunbathing, but weird time of year to be getting windy. Anyway, clean up. Okay, so neighbour over the road's out on the street with his kids in their little RC off-roader cars. They're like having races around the traffic island, and so that's what that noise is. So that's alright, they're having fun, it's all good. But anyway, you look at these have both had a good wallop at some stage, and looking at that, it looks like someone's tried to knock them out from the back to, you know, some level of success. So what I'm thinking I might try and do is try and straighten them out a bit more. I'll have to take these, see if I can get these bolts out, and then hopefully run a punch of some sort. Oh, there's a little springy thing on there that stops it falling out. How does that work? Anyway, I'll take this bolt out. And see if I can get a punch. Okay. Didn't have to take that off. And kind of try and hammer them down with a punch, maybe hammer them up a bit, and then maybe kind of get in there with a flapper disc and some roll locks, and try and smooth them out a bit. You know, they're going to be painted, so I'm not worried about the condition or treatment of the chrome. Where is my punches? So I'm probably going to need some hitting things. Anyway, while in there, I've got a long old strong arm bar somewhere that might be ideal for this. I'll see if I can find it, then we'll be back. That's what I was looking for, so that's going to be my punch. And yeah, we'll see if we can get this to straighten out somewhat. So I'll just get set up and then do some hammering on there. so that worked actually about as good as I could have expected. There's one tiny little wee divot there, and there's something up here, but there's that stuff as well. So like, I'm gonna have a little bit of high build primer on it. If I can get the other side as good as I just got that side, I'll be very happy. And then I just have to kind of like deal with all that. Not quite sure how you do that, whether I just kind of pretty much follow the same process I just did with the old flapper disc, roll over it with a roll lock, and then 80 grit on the DA, try and smooth it all out. I will take this apart to make it easier to do all the inner parts and that. It does come apart. It's got 4 bolts that hold it together. So that straightened out really nice. So now I've just got to get ahead. I'll do the other side, same process. I'll punch it out the best I can, and then hit it with the old, well, I'm not even a flapper disc actually. This is a sanding disc on a backing pad out of flapper discs. So I'll get ahead and do that, and then see where we take it from there. This is side 2, just a little bit hot from the old sanding, but it came up pretty much as good as the other side, so I'm pretty happy with that. There's you can see where the copper's still sitting there, like tiny low spots, but I'm not gonna keep digging. I mean, we got heaps of steel here that's, I don't know what sort of fraction number that is, but it's about 2.5 millimeters. So I could keep grinding and filing and stuff, but I don't want it to get too thin. It is a bumper overrider after all. So yeah, really happy with how they've come up. If I can get anywhere near that, I'm just putting my head mufflers away. Head mufflers. What are they called again? Ear muffs. So yeah, God, having a brain fart then and stroking out. But anyway, that's them done. So what I'm probably going to do next, maybe to get this kind of prepped up for primer, is just go hard sanding. I might have to hit some of this heavier stuff with the old grinder, and then see if I can take it down the rest of the way with just the old roll lock, and then the DA. Some of the chrome, sadly, is actually, is in quite good order, but then just around the corner it was all dented and whatnot, and then this one's just an absolute shit show. So go figure. But yeah, pretty happy with how they come out. I really didn't think I was going to get that kind of result, but maybe that's destiny telling me something. Should have been an overrider repairman. Can't actually get a spanner in there. Get that to turn, and then I can jam a screwdriver in there. Yeah. Oh, it's not working, damn it. Might have to get a little bit of looby dooby on there in the form of CRC. That's it. Oops, just turning it again. Need to put a bit of down pressure on there. Oops, turning again. Come on, you can do it. Oh, it's got a space there. Hey guys, okay, update. Making a mess, but making some progress. I've got these two kind of overriders, well, the outside kind of dealt with. That one's still quite hot from sanding and stuff on it. Bit of pitting in that, it's a bit hard to get out of. Don't want to kind of go absolutely mental and grind the crap out of them and have no steel left. I'll probably spray maybe a little bit of rust converter stuff on the inside and stuff like that, and then maybe a bit on the outside, and then give them another sand and then epoxy. But don't know quite what I'm going to do paint wise on them yet, colour, stuff like that. I've kind of got it in my head like almost like a dark gunmetal kind of sort of thing, you know. I don't know, something like that, because I've got to do the quarter window chrome. That's got to be painted, or you know, re-chromed if I could afford that. But I've also got a little bit of trim in that on the side, so I figured if I'm gonna chrome, I'm gonna paint. Oh, but then I've got the grill and stuff. I don't know. The questions that arise out of this, maybe I'll just do the bumpers and then like keep the rest of the chrome as it is. I don't know, maybe for a little bit of a two-tony kind of vibe. It could be something I might be able to look at into the grill actually, but I'll have to have a look at the grill and see how I could make that work. Because the grill's got a bullet hole in it, which is kind of quite cool. But it's in the stainless part. I think it's stainless, would be a bit of a bitch to fix, but so I'll just kind of probably leave that as it is. But yeah, anyway, that's about all I can do for today. I've got some family commitments I've got to go and take care of today, and hopefully get back onto this tomorrow, because we're actually supposed to be going to a car show thing tomorrow, but the weather's looking like it's supposed to turn to shite, so I might be back in here just doing this quietly. But anyway, till tomorrow. Hey guys, so back from what I was doing earlier. Gonna start like trying to knock a couple of these little whoop-de-woos out of this bumper. This is a bit low here, so I'll try and knock that back up. There's a wee high spot right here. This is the underside of the bumper, I think. So I'm just gonna do some hammering and dollying on that. My hammer and my dolly. Hopefully this will work. Yeah, it did. Choice. Kind of worked a little bit easier than I thought it was going to. Yeah, so there was I probably should have showed you this beforehand. There was a wee high spot. Where was it? There. And I want to knock this here up. This is a bit kind of sunken in, so hang on, I gotta try and flip this around. Magnets. Yeah, so I'll put my dolly on. Oh, there's a bit of a ding there and a few ripples along there. I'll see if I can smooth those out a little bit. That's high there. There's a wee crease there. I'll see if I can take that out. And yeah, like I said before, this isn't gonna be isn't gonna be a super straight bumper in metal, but I'll smooth it out enough to be able to paint it, I think. It's my plan anyway. Okay, so managed to get most of that little whoop-de-woo out of there. This is the, what did I work this out? This is the underside of the bumper. Yeah, so that's probably good enough. I've got some of that little crease out. Most of it should be alright to fill. I think that was kind of the worst of it. It's Anything across this top? I can't remember, I don't think so. The rest of it's just like peely, flaky rubbish, which I'm going to have to get at it with the old grinder and the flapper disc and stuff like that. There's a bit of a low spot right there. Might sort of see if I can knock that back. Okay, so had a bit of a dip in there, managed to just hammer that back. It's a little bit ripply along there still, but I think that'll be alright. On the whole, it's not bad. I think we'll be okay, maybe, with a bit of, which is which, I can't remember which is the top and which is the bottom of this thing now, but I think I have to look at some pictures, but I think this is the bottom, and that's the top, that's the bottom, I think. But yeah, so that's it for today anyway. We've been out and back again, and I came back and I just quickly went over this with the old grinder and the DA and all that kind of stuff. So I've got the overrider parts kind of ready to hit with some rust converter and then some epoxy. Hopefully it'll stick. Mixed reports. I've been looking into this painting over chrome thing, and there's heaps of people do it different ways, and some people say do it one way, it'll all fall off. Other people say do it that way, it'll be there for years, been doing it for years that way themselves. So who knows, trial and error, I guess. We'll give it a try. It's only paint. If it comes off, then it comes off, and then I do it again. That's alright. So tomorrow, hopefully I'll get in here with the flapper or the sanding discs and try and clean all this pitted stuff up and get rid of some of this flaky stuff that's kind of coming off, and try and feather that back. Whether that becomes a problem later on, I don't know, could do. But yeah, like I say, if that's a problem later on, I'll take them, I'll get them dipped and stripped and all that kind of stuff, and we'll worry about that then, because it's only paint once I decide to paint them. What colour? But anyway, till tomorrow, hopefully. If it's pissing down, I'll be here. If it's fine, I might go and have a look at this show. I don't know if I'll go in it. I might just kind of go and have a walk around and not take the truck in. And then yeah, I wouldn't mind getting some epoxy on this, but I'm pretty sure I've got some other stuff happening tomorrow which is going to interfere with that as well. So it might be a bit of a midweek scramble to try and get this video out before all done and edited and uploaded before next Monday, because I have no backup videos at the moment. I used them all up over the last 2 weeks to take my son down to Wellington, to the capital city, get him set up for his university career. Yep, got all these educated kids and I'm just a high school dropout. But yeah, I'm doing alright, but you know, anyway, till tomorrow. Hey guys, so next day, hasn't started raining yet, but it's looking like it's going to, so I'm just going to stick around here and do some work on this bumper and stuff. See the sacrifices I make. I'm not going to this hot rod and bike show, it's just so I can get this done, to get a video out to you guys. But no, truth of the matter is I'm a bit of a hermit, and it doesn't take much to make me decide, yeah, no, I'll just stay home. But anyway, so I've been grinding off all the loose, flaky crap in that on this bumper, the peely chrome and that, which kind of goes against the grain. I've never done this before, so it kind of, you know, like grinding on chrome, it's like, but it is what it is. The chrome's no good, so it's got to be kind of dealt with. Anyway, I got one of these things and I gave it a try on the other end on the kind of rusty stuff, because I was kind of grinding it and it was just moving the rusty stuff around. It wasn't really kind of cutting into it. Mind you, my flapper disc's a bit skint. So tried this on the other end. It worked quite good on the surface rusty stuff. This is just like a stripping disc. One of them. One of those little kind of, one of those things. I've never really used them before. Used them on a, you know, kind of had them kind of in my peripheral for a while, and this has been on this little stack of discs and polishing stuff that I bought from the hardware store about 3 years ago, and I thought I'd give it a whirl on this, and it actually works not too, over here, it actually works not too bad. So let's get at it. Okay, so as you can hopefully see, it takes a lot of this kind of like the surfacey rust stuff off without taking heaps of steel out. So I think that's quite a nifty little bit of kit for this sort of thing. Like I was, you know, like I'd been doing on other bits, it was taking, you know, to get into these pits and that, I was having to take a lot of steel off to get down in there, and I guess I probably should, but then that's going to require a lot more trying to straighten out this thing once I've dug grooves and everything. I would rather just, I don't know if it's the right thing to do or not, but I'd rather you know, treat the pitting and the rust stuff sort of thing and then just paint it. You know, like I said earlier, if it worst comes to worst and it starts failing, then we can cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, I'll carry on. I'll get this kind of all done to this sort of stage, and then we'll probably hit it with 80 grit on the da. And I've got to do something about the inside. There's heaps of crap on the inside of these parts as well. Like, I've already kind of had a bit of a whiz over with the DA in there, but I can only get to so much of it with machines. So I haven't touched in there, so I'm going to have to do a bit of hand sanding, unfortunately. Just try and get the worst of that off, and then give it a bit of a treatment, and then see how that goes, yeah. But ideally hitting it with a DA, oh pardon me, crikey. Hitting it with a DA or a mechanical device, I reckon I'd get a more even kind of cut into the chrome, just to get a better kind of key for any paint system to stick to, you know what I'm saying. So, but anyway, I'll carry on, enough jibber jabber. Hey, so just giving this bit of a scuff with some 80 grit, just to try and take the loose shit off. It's kind of harder than it looks. I'm probably making it look nice and awkward, because it kind of is. What I was thinking of doing is, before I go over the outside of the main bumper with the DA, is kind of giving it all a bit of a squirt down with some rust fix, and then a kind of final sand before epoxy, you know what I'm saying? And that way, you know, I'm kind of sanding off most of the rust fix, other than what's just in the pits, you know. What I'm getting at is that anyway. And hopefully that kind of helps kind of make the paint stick to the rest of the chrome, the leftover chrome, if you know what I mean. Ugh, see, it's kind of like all scabby and shit inside there. Anyway, I'll carry on with this, and then I might have to have a bit of a vacuum, try and pick up some of this rust dust and put a whole bunch of tools and that away before we get on to trying to spray anything around the place, you know. Okay, so just giving these bits a bit of a wipe out on the inside and probably on the outside with just a bit of lacquer thinners, just to get any residual paint stripper, sharp stuff off there. I'm not too worried about kind of greasy handprints at this point. This is more just to kind of take the dust and stuff off, and then when I spray this, hopefully it'll convert that stuff to the, what do you call it, like the black etch, you know, that this does. You guys know this stuff? It's called Duplicolor Rust Fix. It's just a rust converter. I've had pretty good success with it over the years. I wouldn't say it would stop anything heavy, but you know, for kind of keeping it at bay for a little bit, it definitely kind of helps, you know, better than nothing, put it that way. See, a lot of people don't do anything, you know, welding in new floors over rusty frames and shit like that. It's sort of, yeah, you can do it, it's better, you know, the new floors are better than the old floors, but I don't know, a little bit of preventative stuff, in my opinion, goes a long way. Even if it's not gonna stop it, you know, dead in its tracks, it's still better than nothing, if you know what I mean. That's my opinion anyway. So there's plenty of products on the market. A lot of people are using Brunox now. I haven't tried that myself, but I've probably been using it for years. I only just heard of it kind of in the last couple of years. I've seen it in action. It looks really good. It looks like it puts a real good coating on the raw steel as well. Yeah, the clean steel, but it definitely does the whole turn the surface rust black kind of business, that's for sure. It is a bit more spendy by the looks of things, and here it's about $35 for an aerosol can, which is, as opposed to this stuff here, is about, I don't know, I think it's about 25 from memory, but you can buy Brunox in like a 1 litre sort of bottle or an aerosol can. It's a 1 litre bottle is I think it's about $50 something. I was looking at it online last night just out of curiosity, wondering whether I should make the shift to the new industry standard. Not that the Duplicolor one I think was ever the industry standard, but I just came across it once about, crikey, about maybe 15, no, even longer than that, it must be 20 something years ago. I kind of started using this on things, and you know, those cars are still on the road, haven't blown out, so we'll yeah, that's my endorsement of that particular product. Not a paid endorsement in any way, but I'm just saying I use this and I quite like it. But anyway, so I'm going to spray some of this around all the inside bits, then flip everything over and spray the outside parts, you know. But I think I might go and get a mask on because I've got the door shut today because it's looking pretty grim out there. Boy, it's already been raining, so good decision making on my part, I might add, about not going to the hot rod show in the rain. Yeah, could have gone there, the club rooms would have been open, I could have gone and sat in there and talked shit about cars, but then, you know, and motorbikes, there's motorbikes there too. Right, enough chit chat, where'd the cat? Mask. How cool is that? See how it kind of goes to purple on the raw steel, and where it's the original chrome, it's like a purpley black. That'll kind of go black. The original chrome is kind of going this kind of goldy sort of colorish sort of thing, and then the rust pits, they're going black. But man, that's actually That's actually quite cool. Could be a thing. I could do a bit more grinding and sanding on this and see if I can get a bit of that happening on the front of the bumper. And yeah, we'll see how it dries anyway. But that's about all I can do for now, actually, until it does dry. So I'll go and find something else to do to entertain myself and see whether this is the end of the video, or whether I can get some more done on this today before I go back to work tomorrow. My plan was, depending on how this looks, but my plan was to get this into like an epoxy primer. I don't think this is copper coated. There's no copper, so I just realised that there's no copper underneath it, whereas the overriders have got copper. If you don't know anything about chroming like me, I know a tiny little wee bit. Copper is part of the chroming processes like high build primer. So if you've got a piece of steel that you want to chrome and it's got sanding marks or file marks or pressing marks and that, what they used to do back in the day was they would copper dip it and basically sand it, cut it down and down and down, and then dip it again in copper, sand it down and down, and to take the heavier scratches and marks and that out of it, using copper as like a filler. So that was like a copper dip tank sort of thing, and then they would do the chrome or nickel plate over the top of that. I'm not sure if they did nickel over the top of chrome, but you know, but that's how they did it to get, like if I sent this away for chroming, they would have to kind of grind down through the layers of kind of grinding papers, you know, like discs or whatever, from like a heavy to get all this pitting down, and then they would kind of basically go down in grades of grit, just like when you're going down grit on a car, and they would then, to get it and then polish it, basically to get it smooth, the better the polished finish, the better the chrome finish sort of thing. So if you want really good chrome, you've got to present really clean metal finished steel. If you're lucky enough to find someone that still does copper dipping as well beforehand, and then that's another process. That's why chroming is so expensive. It's really labor intensive on that side of things. The prep, the actual chroming itself is pretty quick. See how this is all going black now? Choice. But yeah, so that's my little ignorant explanation on the chroming process. As far as I know, it could be much more to it than that. I no doubt there'll be heaps more to it than what I know. So that's just a little general explanation to the best of my knowledge. I used to have a customer that worked at a chrome platers down in my old town, down in the Hutt Valley where I used to live, and he explained a little bit of it to me and why they didn't do hot rod stuff, because they didn't have a copper bath to do the copper dips. It's a shame. And what he explained to me was like they did mostly like, you know, office furniture and kind of clean finish stuff, so they didn't have the capabilities to do kind of restoration work on damaged bumpers and trim and stuff like that, and do all the copper cutting and buffing, dipping, cutting and buffing type stuff. So they didn't have the facilities to do that, because it was another, you know, millions of dollars more to set that up. So that's how he explained it to me anyway. Okay, so as you've seen, I just gave all the bumper bolts a bit of a sand as well, just on the heads of them. I'm not going to go crazy on the actual stuff. The actual condition of the bolts is pretty good. A little bit of surface rust, but that's not a big deal. So because they're going to have to get painted obviously the same as the bumper, otherwise you're going to have these Scody old rattle can Recon chrome jobbies on the bumper. So, you know, the obvious solution is to paint them as well. So leave me a piece of wood. But yeah, so I just got to make up a little stand to stand them on, which consists of a piece of wood with some holes drilled in it, so I can paint them. And yeah, but this stuff here actually requires a dry time, which I normally ignore, but I kind of feel like I should pay a little bit more attention to it on this particular thing. What the fuck is it? I feel like I need to go like that. So dispose of things, it's all in different languages, harmful vapors. You get so much warnings and stuff, but not a lot of instruction. 2 to 3 light coats. Yeah, allow to dry for 24 hours. It says. And yeah, it's been about probably about 3/4 of an hour since I did it. So I might have to leave this to during the week and see if I can get down here after work one day and do the old final sand on that and kind of rescuff on everything, and then squirt some epoxy onto all that stuff. Then, you know, kind of that's what I'm kind of thinking, you know, because I kind of want this, I would like this to hold up reasonably well, and not kind of peel off after 6 months, you know. So that's my plan. Stand. I didn't actually have a drill bit big enough, like a normal drill bit, but I have an auger, well, a spade bit big enough, which is a 13mm spade bit. So I'm just going to use this awkward piece of kit, drill some holes in my bit of wood. Okay, so as I was saying, I might have to leave this till later in the week to come back and sand it and epoxy it. I do, like I said, I do want to kind of like let it cure up properly, you know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you've been here for a while and you haven't subscribed, but you know, hit the subscribe button. That'd be awesome. Trying to get the numbers up, but you know, it's a struggle without being too kind of pushy, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that'd be cool if you do that. Like, comment, share, all that kind of stuff. And but yeah, so leave that for today, and we'll be back in a day or so, hopefully, and get this stuff into primer. Hey guys, so it's actually the next day, and I've just given all of these bits of chrome another whiz over with 80 grit on the DA. Absolutely pissing down at the moment, so I'm not going to be doing any spraying tonight after work. So tomorrow when I get home from work, hopefully I'll evacuate the old bomb truck from the garage and spray some epoxy each onto these, and hopefully that'll stick. So we'll find out though. But yeah, like I was saying earlier in this video, there's mixed opinions of what to use and how to use it. There's guys saying that you've got to use this, that and the other stuff, and some, you know, acid etches and all sorts of stuff. And then there's other people just going, nah, 80 grit on the DA and hit them with some epoxy and then paint them. So that's what I'm going to do, because I've got some epoxy. I haven't got the paint colour yet. I haven't decided, so we'll cross that bridge when we find it, you know. But till tomorrow, hopefully, then we can get some epoxy on these and get them sealed up and see what they look like in one colour and stuffage, you know. We'll figure it out. Hey guys, well, as promised, epoxy on the old bumpers. It's funny when you kind of, sorry, looking at my ugly mush, fuck. You can see a lot more kind of like ripples and issues and stuff on there when you get these things all one colour, but it's not too bad. It's kind of what I expected. These overriders, this part looks real good, the bit that I put all the effort into, other bits not so much. Like this little ripply bit here. This bit here that was all quite pitted, that's actually come up not too bad. On the top side, bottom side, still pits in that. Obviously there's still pits in that there, like I didn't grind them right out like I said, I wasn't going to grind them right out. I didn't want to keep taking material off. So that rust fix hopefully fixed that, but to a degree might slow it down a little bit. I don't think it stops it 100% dead in its tracks, but it does kind of slow it down. But yeah, so that's them kind of prepped up and archeologied. I wanted to see what was under all of that silver paint and flaky chrome and shit like that. Now we know. So yeah, they're going to get painted. At this stage I don't really know what to paint them. I kind of like the idea of like a bronzy, deep metallic-y type thing, but I don't know whether it'll go well with the body colour and stuff, so might have to do a little bit of soul searching and shit like that. I'd rather paint them something that doesn't look like fake chrome, if you know what I mean. If they're too much of a silver or a metallic silver or pewter or something like that, they could be kind of taken for fake chrome. I'd rather them be a kind of darker or deeper colour, you know, the bumpers, and maybe the quarter window chrome around there. The rest of it, don't know. Like I said the other day, might be able to do a mix of the two with the grille and with the you know, having a bit of the stainless and a bit of whatever colour we use on the bumpers into the grille stuff, you know. So yeah, as I was saying, battery died, but as I was saying, maybe a bit of a mix of whatever bumper colour we use, and keeping the stainless trim and the stainless on the bumper on the grille, you know, as stainless sort of thing. I think that might be a way to go, but I've just got to kind of lock down a colour for the bumpers. I seen a black sled that had like all copper bumpers and copper trim and that looked sick, but yeah, that's, you know, it wouldn't look right on this car. It would I don't know, look a bit daft, I think. Not with the vision I've kind of got in mind anyway, but this part of the vision's just a little bit blurry at the moment, and so I've got to do some soul searching. Like I said, if anyone's got any cool ideas, I know Big Boss, I think it was, suggested something a little while back, but I can't remember what it was. It was to do with painting the bumpers and stuff like that, but I think, I don't know, you tell me. You're out there, Big Boss, chime in. But yeah, so that's where we're going to leave this exciting episode of the DMAC Customs on the YouTube in the garage. And oh yeah, I also put a bit of etch on those things there. I almost forgot those. Yeah, so that's where we're going to leave this one. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. That'd be awesome. And like, share, comment. Like I said, we're on you know, also we're on the Instagram and Facebook if you're over those ways and you want to have a look see. But like I keep saying, there's not a lot on there that's bright sun different to what's going on here. Like, well, there's no videos on there yet at this point. Just basically me pushing the channel, trying to grow the channel into something that's well, a little bit bigger than it is now. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for your support and advice and tips and tricks and stuff like that for all you fellas who chime in. And till next time, take it easy and peace. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Kind of got sanding and priming and stuff to do, then painting and stuff. But anyway, we'll cross that cat when we skin it. Okay, so till next time, take it easy. See ya.